Okay, folks, hope your Saturdays are going well. Welcome, everyone, to our live stream coverage of the 2024 South Carolina primary. Hopefully, this is not your first election night stream with the candidates' speeches, assuming it's going to be a Nikki Haley concession speech. Well, that's not true at all, because she's going to go out there, right, and pretend that she won. But that should be fun. Stay tuned, folks. Welcome, everyone, again, to our coverage of the South Carolina Republican, and I guess briefly, we'll talk about it a little bit, Democrat primary. Stay tuned. And we are live tonight from the great state of Florida, and the stream is dropping, so that's fun. But it does say that it's up, so it might just get kind of blurry, so you guys will have to excuse that. But welcome, everyone, to our election night watch party. Hopefully the stream stops dropping, but I am your host, thevincedao, and before we begin tonight, everyone be sure to, as usual, leave a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and if you would like to support this show tonight, you got thoughts, you got comments on anything as these election results pour in live, feel free to do so via the super chats. And let's hope that Nikki Haley does not use her evil witchcraft to destroy the stream again. Anyways, I will report right off the gate, because I know some of you have already seen it, that, folks, we have we have 0% of the votes in. However, the Associated Press and the New York Times have already called the South Carolina primary for Donald Trump. Now, what are they going based off of? They just looked at the polls. I guess they assumed he's already going to win. We saw a lot of exit polling data as well that is favorable to Trump. For instance, I think one of the big key points here was the vast majority of people in the exit polls said they already had decided several months ago who they were going to vote for in this primary, okay? And we find statistically that usually, and I guess it makes sense that those are, of course, Donald Trump voters, right? Because if you're kind of more on the fence and you were trying to decide genuinely, hey, I'm going to sit down, who am I going to vote for? You know, I'm an undecided voter. We kind of understand in a race like this, they were more likely to go to Nikki Haley. However, I'm still going to say, okay, as funny as it is, and as much as we love to dunk on Nikki Haley, I will say, I think that calling a race the minute that the polls close is a little bit irresponsible, okay? I don't care what election it is, because, you know, in my opinion, if people are still in the line, you know, because that's the thing, polls close at 7 p.m., but it doesn't mean that all voting closes at 7 p.m., right? So, you know, Fox News might have screwed over Trump in 2020 because they called Arizona within an hour and a half, I believe, which was at least a little bit longer. But because it's Arizona, and because, as we know, Arizona Election Day 2020 was a total mess, right? It was a total disaster. Is the stream down? That's not fun. Hello? Are we working? Okay, we're back. Oh. Okay, never mind. Okay, no, okay, good, we're back. Okay, as I was saying, sorry guys, if it keeps doing this, I'll switch to the hotspot and try to figure this out. But anyways, it's been dude, I swear, this freaking internet, okay, it'll go several months with working, and then every couple of months, it just decides that it wants to have a stroke in the middle of when we're streaming. So let me know if it's buffering severely. I mean, it like the frame rates just keep going up and down. It's all over the place. But anyways, as the point I was making here, right? I will say I do think that calling a race when voters are still in line, you know, is a little bit, you know, people would say irresponsible. However, am I exactly going to cry about it? No, because it's Nikki Haley and we don't care. Okay, any excuse to make fun of that corrupt neocon, we will fully take advantage of. So, she can go complain about it. Her supporters can go complain about it. I will, again, say as an objective matter, I don't think it's necessarily great practice as a news outlet, but it is what it is. Okay, so with 0% of the votes in, and I mean exactly 0, okay, 000, they have already called that Donald Trump will be winning the South Carolina primary, and apparently, okay, he's already on the stage. All right, folks, this might be the shortest election stream of all time. So if you're just joining us, with 0% of the votes in, they've already called the race for Donald Trump, and good thing I did switch to the stream just to see what was happening, because apparently he is already giving his victory speech. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Anticipated. It was an even bigger win than we anticipated, and I was just informed that we got double the number of votes that has ever been received in the great state of South Carolina. So that's pretty good. So it's a record times 2, and there's something going on in the country. Some really great things are going on. You look outside and you see all of the horror. You see millions and millions of people coming across the border illegally. We don't know where they come from. They come from jails. They come from prisons. They come from all sorts of places that we don't want to know. They come from mental institutions and insane asylums. And we don't want that in our country. We're not going to stand for it. We're not going to stand for it. You have terrorists coming in. You have people coming in that we just can't. We can't do this. No country could sustain what's happening to the United States of America. No country. So we're going to straighten things out. The border is the worst it's ever been. In 2016 we won, and we had a bad border, and I talked about the border a lot. Talked about it a lot, and I said we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. We fixed it very quickly, and in 2020 we couldn't talk about it, although we did get millions of more votes the second time. But now there's a spirit that I have never seen. We ran 2 great races, but there's never been a spirit like this. And I just want to say that I have never seen the Republican Party so unified as it is right now. Never been like that.
It's true.
And a big part of that is the people standing behind me. These are the biggest officials in South Carolina, but I say like the biggest officials in our country as far as I'm concerned. They're state figures, but they're national figures, and in the truest sense of the word, they love our country so much, and they want to see our country succeed and be respected again. Right now, we're a laughing stock all over the world. Our country is going to be respected again, respected like never before. So this is a fantastic evening. It's an early evening and a fantastic. So you can all go down and you can celebrate for about 15 minutes, and we have to get back to work because the big date, Michigan's coming up. We're doing great. The auto workers are going to be with us 100% because they got sold out by this country. But Michigan's up, and we're going to have a tremendous success there. And then we have a thing called Super Tuesday, and I think we're leading 91-7 overall. If you don't mind,
but she's still in the race, guys.
I have the pleasure of introducing some incredible people. Because they stuck right from the beginning, from the very moment we announced, and they believe in make America great again. That's what they believe in. They believe in America first. We're putting America first. First of all, my family, Melania, Barron, Don Jr. and Kimberly, Ivanka and Jared, Tiffany and Michael. They're so supportive. So supportive of me, and we really appreciate it and love them. They're great. We have a great family, and we have incredible friends, and we're going to be up here on November 5th, and we're going to look at Joe Biden, and we're going to look him right in the eye. He's destroying our country, and we're going to say, Joe, you're fired. Get out. Get out, Joe. You're fired. They're destroying our country, and we're going to I just wish we could do it quicker. 9 months is a long time. I just wish we could do it quicker, Mr. Governor. I wish we, is there anything you can do with your vast powers to make that, you know, in certain countries you're allowed to call your election date. If I had the right to do it, I'd do it tomorrow. I'd say, we're having an election tomorrow. Henry, is there anything you can do? I want to start off because right from the beginning, Henry McMaster, the governor of this incredible state, and much more importantly, his wife, Peggy, she's with him all the way, I'll tell you. Never saw anything. What a couple. But I'd like to ask him to say a few words. He's a very special man, an incredible governor, very popular in the state. And really, I mean, he gave us some very good advice. And he has right from the beginning. You know, from the day I announced I had the lieutenant governor. He was the lieutenant governor. And from right at the beginning, when I announced, then I said, I don't know the gentleman. Is he good? They said, he's really great. And I said, well, I hope so. And you know what? Within about 2 weeks, I said, that guy is unbelievable. You know, I never got the support of the governor. She supported somebody else, but I had the support of somebody much, much better, Henry McMaster. And we won in a landslide. And I'd like to ask the governor to say a few words. Please, Henry.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. I'll be very brief. Y'all, I would like you all to remember this moment that you were here. This is a great moment in American history. We'll
Gosh, he's the most southern governor I've ever heard. I love it.
Every time a rocket launches, you know, it goes up slow, and then it's climbing and climbing, and then boom, that next stage comes off, and it goes. Well, we just did that. We just hit maximum velocity, and we're going all the way.
So
that guy's like Boss Hog. I love it.
Because he came on board, and Lindsey wanted him, and the lieutenant governor wanted him, and everybody wanted him. Henry and Peggy wanted him. Okay, but he didn't love speaking about himself because he's a good person. See, I have no problem with that. It's a problem. What a personality, I don't know. But he endorsed me, and then we asked him to go and do a few shows, and, you know, they're not often nice shows. They're very hostile. And what he did was, I said, is this the same man? And he campaigned nicely, but he's a high-quality person. When he was supporting me, the day, is that correct, Lindsey, when he went out? Yeah. Tim Scott, Senator Tim Scott, he went out, and he was ripping it. I said, what happened to Tim Scott? What a dynamo. And he has been one of our great advocates. He's been doing things that have been unbelievable, and I'm just very happy he didn't have that same energy, drive, because I think I probably would have been out of the race a long time ago. But I want to say, a very special man. I really do mean it. So many people have such great respect for him, and you're very lucky to have him in the state. Tim, please, say a few words.
Hello, South Carolina! The longer I speak, the less you hear of him. So let me just ask one survey question, and you better answer it loud and clear. Is South Carolina Trump country?
Thank you very much, Tim. Really great job. Amazing. Another man, not a lot of people know him. He doesn't do too much television. He happens to be a little bit further left than some of the people on the stage. But I always say, when I'm in trouble on the left, I call up Lindsey Graham, and he straightens it out so fast. And I'll tell you, no, remember.
They're booing him. We love to see it.
I love him. He's a good man. Come up here, Lindsey. Come up here, Lindsey. Come here.
Okay, are you ready? America, the nightmare you're facing is just about over. Help is on the way. This is the most qualified man to be president of the United States. And let it be said, that South Carolina created the biggest political comeback in American history.
Thank you, Lindsey. So, I have a son who's a very talented guy, and he works so hard, and we love him. And his
I
wife
love that he
is
got
very
booed. That was
good.
hilarious.
She goes on, and Laura. And I want to thank Eric and Laura for doing such a fantastic job, and really amazing. They're amazing people. Let's go down a little list of some of the people that are up here tonight, because every one of them is a star in their own right. And your lieutenant governor is going places. You do know that, right? Pamela Abbott. And really going places. And Speaker of the House, Merrill Smith, who's coming up in a couple. You know, some of these people are actually busy. He's running to get over here. But we want to thank you, Speaker of the House. Fantastic person, doing a great job for the state. An Attorney General who's been in the news lately a lot, winning cases. Oh, I wish we had such a good Attorney General like that in New York. Oh. He's a great Attorney General. Alan Wilson, thank you, Alan. His father happens to be up here, too. Remember his famous, "You lied," remember? He's been loved ever since, hasn't he, huh? Treasurer Curtis Loftus. Curtis, thank you very much, wherever you may be. Thank you. Thank you, Curtis. Mark Hammond, Secretary of State. Thank you, Mark. Ambassador, and this is a great ambassador, one of the best. Anytime we had a problem, I just call Ed McMullen, and he would solve the problem very quickly. Ed, thank you very much. We have a man who's done a really good job in the state, your South Carolina GOP chair, Drew McKissick. Thank you. Thank you.
I love this crowd. This crowd's letting them have it. It's nice.
We have a highly opinionated group of people. I'll tell you, they turned very positive on you very quickly, Elizabeth. So, you have a beautiful, beautiful state right next to you, North Carolina. We love North Carolina, right? In fact, they named
Someone's
their
booing North Carolina.
daughter Carolina. And I said, which state? She said both. She's I think I know which state, but that's okay. But they have the most beautiful daughter named Carolina. So we love both of them. We love them both very much. And we won them both very easily. And one of the reasons we won North Carolina is a man named Michael Watley, who looks to me, we gave him our endorsement, and he looks to me like he's going to be going on to the National Republican Party as the boss.
He should be.
Michael Watley. Where's Michael?
That's my endorsement.
Michael, thank you very much. And he's going to be working with Laura. And we may be putting Kellyanne in the group, too. Do we like Kellyanne? We love Kellyanne, right? But you're going to do a fantastic job, both of you. We appreciate it very much. What a job he's done in North Carolina. You know, that evening of 2020 with those votes coming in, we're leading in Pennsylvania, and all of a sudden, something happened. It went boom. And then we're leading all over the place, Georgia, and then boom. And we're leading. But North Carolina, I said, when is that going to go? When are they going to drop lots of ballots into that one? And you know what he did? He just kept that thing, and we never had a problem. And I said, that's my kind of guy. He had hundreds of lawyers. How many lawyers did you have?
500 lawyers.
He had 500 lawyers to make sure they didn't cheat, and they didn't cheat in North Carolina.
That's the RNC chair we need.
That's my kind of guy, so I appreciate it.
People say, why do you endorse
him?
him?
We're very
That's
proud
why.
of you, and you're going to do a fantastic job. And come election period, you know, we used to have election night. Now we have election period because some of these elections go on for 48 days, 61 days. Then they announce, they get all this equipment, and they'll be announcing the vote in 3 weeks from now. Can you imagine? They don't know what they're doing, but I will tell you, you have done a fantastic job, and we very much appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. We also have a lot of members of Congress, including members of Congress out in the audience. This room is full of energy, and our party is full of energy like never before. And I mean it. There's never been unity. There has never been unity in our party. Just the fact, think of it, we've had a lot of primaries in this state. The fact that we got double the number of votes in history, there's never been anything like that. Who's ever heard of that? So we have members of Congress with us. I'm very proud of this. I guess every one of them, almost every one of them, now they're gone. The impeachers are all gone. Nancy Mace is here, a non-controversial person, but she's a real advocate, and she's become a real advocate, and I appreciate it, Nancy, very much. Thank you very much. She's a very strong woman, and we want strong women. We like strong women. William Timmons, Congressman William Timmons, who's been a fantastic warrior for our country. Joe Wilson, I spoke to you about him before. He is tough and he is smart. And he and his beautiful wife produced a wonderful, wonderful Attorney General. So, Joe, thank you very much, and you've done a fantastic job. Loves our country. Michael Waltz knows more about the military probably than anybody. And we see him on a lot, and I always want his opinion. And he's got very strong opinions, and he hates to see what's happening to our country. That I can tell you, but he'll straighten it out. We'll all straighten it out together. Michael Collins. Michael, thank you. Thank you, Michael. Great job.
Great congressman, by the way.
A very non-controversial person, but a very good person. People don't understand. This is a very good person, and he's a very capable man, Matt Gaetz. Thank you, Matt. That's not bad, Matt. Wow. Wow. That's impressive. I'm very impressed, right?
His base loves him, Trump. Your base loves him.
Very good. Matt, what's going on? How many people did you put up here? Huh? That's fantastic. And by the way, before I forget, we have a group of people, and I know this is okay with you, from North Carolina. It's about 60 women that travel all over the country with me. Every time I'm out, we do a rally. We have to do, at least it has to be up significant, so usually rallies. But I think they're up to number 121. They've done 100. They're all beautiful women. Obviously, they're very wealthy. They look so wealthy and beautiful. Look at them over here. But they travel all over the country, and way over 100. And I'm trying to figure out the husband. They're all happily married. They have these wonderful husbands. Hey, one of the husbands is standing right there. He's the smartest one of all. But I just want to thank you. Your support is so incredible. I get out, and it's like a breath of fresh air. I look at these incredible people, and at least here we're having one that's very close, right? You don't have to travel out to California and Texas and all the other places. Well, we very much appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Very special women. A woman who was actually out campaigning today. She is the hardest worker. I said, Marjorie, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. I said, Marjorie, you don't have to do. She went to a polling sector, and she had the Trump flag, and she's waving it and screaming, vote. I said, Marjorie, it's 4:30. It's just about over for the vote. Please. She said, nope, I'm staying longer. This is the hardest working, wherever you are, the most incredible woman. She's respected by everybody. She is very smart. And I'm just very happy that she's on our side. Right, Eric? I'm very happy that she's on our side, right? So it's been an incredible period of time. We have a country that is a failing nation, but we're not going to have a failing nation very long. We are not going to allow this to happen. We love our country. We love it dearly. We're going to fight for our country. We're going to fight for our rights. we're not going to let this go on because it is not sustainable by any country. You cannot let, I believe, the number by the time we get him out, and remember the date, November 5th, it's going to be the most important date, perhaps. The election is on November 5th. So we have Michigan coming next week. We have Super Tuesday. We have Ball coming. You know, we've set a record so far in every single, in Iowa, we got the most votes in history times two, just like this, the biggest margin ever. We then went to New Hampshire. You know, New Hampshire and Iowa, they've been around a long time politically. And we went to New Hampshire. We got the most votes in the history. That's like who has the most home runs, who has the most hits in baseball, or who threw the most touchdowns in football, who got the most points in basketball. It's very simple. We got the most votes in the history of New Hampshire primary. That's a tremendous, and that goes back so many decades, and we beat them. You know, you have John F. Kennedy, you have a lot of good people to beat, and we beat them by not a little bit, by a lot. And then we went Virgin Islands. I want to thank the Virgin Islands because they made a very strong play for the Virgin Islands, and we got 100% of the Virgin Islands. And then, of
Nice
course,
job,
Nevada,
Nikki.
as you know, we went to
Freaking
Nevada.
loser.
We got 99.6% of the vote. And then they had a primary, and this is no candidate. You know, it's called, they had various forms, unknown candidate, they had all. But this is no candidate, got 65% of the vote, and they think I was the no candidate because it was a caucus, it wasn't a primary, and you have to know what you're doing. You have to go into the caucus, not the primary, but without going into it, I think we won by 50 points or something like that. So, and then we come here, and what an honor this is. You know, in South Carolina, I've won every primary by a record, and we've won every election by a record, and people like these two and like this great governor and your great lieutenant governor, and I have to say thank you very much, Pam. What a job. Thank you. They make it really easy, and many of them, as I was announcing, it seems like a long time ago, but as I was announcing before I finished the speech, they said, we're endorsing Trump. Those are friends. Those are great, great friends. And we had some strong competitors. I mean, we had some very strong competitors, but these were real friends. South Carolina, thank you very much. Go home, get rest. We have a lot of work ahead of us. We love you all. God bless you all. God bless you all. Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right, folks, there was Donald Trump's victory speech. He came out basically right when polls closed to give the speech because the AP actually called the race immediately. We looking live at the election results. I mean, we only have 3% in. Trump on path to win. At least that's what the press says. I mean, I don't know. I assume they're probably counting a lot of the early votes first. Which kind of favors Nikki Haley. And actually, you look at the map here, right? You can see that, right? Votes reported here versus votes remaining. And they obviously, as usual for Trump, election day votes, as everyone knows, vastly favor him. So we'll be watching the results. But a couple of thoughts there on the speech. That crowd was something else. Folks, what do we think of that crowd, okay? Just absolutely tearing apart Lindsey Graham, booed him out of the freaking building. And, you know, I think it's good. Trump does seem to be more conscious of Lindsey Graham's politics. He even said it himself. He's like, you know, tends to be a little bit more to the left, but still a good guy there. And, you know, if that's going to be the relationship with Lindsey Graham, then honestly, maybe hot take, I'm kind of fine with that, right? Now, I believe Lindsey is up for primary in 2026, and I fully support a primary challenge to Lindsey Graham. I don't know if it would succeed in South Carolina. For a long time, I've thought that it wouldn't, but when you listen to the crowd reaction there, right, that does seem to suggest, hey, maybe it is possible, okay? He's getting booed out of the building in his state like that. I have never heard that at a Trump event before, so maybe it, you know, can indeed happen there. But, you know, and I'll say this too, because I know people are going to really complain that why does Trump even have Lindsey in the circle? You know, I guess the way I see it, especially in an election year like this, is for me, I think it's more important than anything else that we freaking, first of all, can win the election or do all that's in our power to win the election. And then secondly, B, that we can get stuff done, right? We don't want any Paul Ryans. We don't want any people like that. And so as much as I would like to overnight primary all these bad people out of the party, and I've been I've been telling people to do that for years. Hey, this guy's a rhino. Don't vote for this, whatever. But, at the same time, I guess you need your little chess pieces, right? And if this guy is a top Republican establishment senator who is on your side, and I would probably say the same about Tim Scott. I mean, I know Tim Scott tends to have a slightly more favorable opinion, but I think when you really break it down, his politics are actually much similar to Lindsey Graham's. But it's like, hey, if you can get the endorsement of the entire South Carolina coalition, the good guys and the bad guys, right? You got both Henry McMaster, who's the governor, he's a very good governor, and Lindsey Graham. You kind of set yourself up in a position where, hey, Nikki Haley has no chance in this state, and also Trump has, like I said, a little pawn, a little chess piece on the board in terms of I guess trying to play politics there. So people may write that off and say I'm excusing it or whatever. Like I said, again, I fully support a primary challenge to Lindsey Graham in 2026. However, if you're going to be in the position like you are at the current moment where, you have to try to get stuff done, do you necessarily want him working against you, or is it better to kind of have him fall in line behind you? I don't know. Up to your interpretation, but I did find that hilarious and pretty base that the crowd gave them the reaction that they did, especially with Lindsey Graham, and there was that other guy, I forgot who it even was that he mentioned there. But hopefully that's a signal to Trump, too. It's like, here's how the base really feels. Yeah, play your politics, whatever, but understand that this is where the voters of your politics, the politics of your voters are, and this is where your people really stand. Okay, but anyways, again, if you're just joining us, they have already called the South Carolina primary for Donald Trump. I will remind everyone of this too. If you're wondering, this is a winner-take-all state. So if Donald Trump beats Nikki Haley by just one vote in South Carolina, that means he takes every single delegate in South Carolina. Okay, so that's how South Carolina works, which, of course, feels even more this notion and really goes to show you that Nikki Haley is completely and utterly and totally delusional, because she is saying, and we'll react to this, we'll play this in a second, but she is going out there saying, well, you say that we have no shot, but we've only had 2 states so far, which, by the way, Nikki, we've actually had 3 states. You can't just pretend like Nevada, where you literally lost to nobody. You lost to none of the above. You can't just pretend like that doesn't exist, right? But if this is going to be Nikki Haley's game plan, home run, whatever, to challenge Donald Trump in this race and make it competitive, that's kind of dumb. Is it not? That doesn't actually make a whole lot of sense, because maybe, hey, it's your home state. If you come in a close second, if it were not a winner-take-all state, then you could say, hey, we could come close to Donald Trump and the delegates. But it's winner-take-all, which means you're going to walk away from this race with 0 delegates. So that is the girl math of Nikki Haley. It is quite hilarious to watch and listen to. But yeah, we will be following these results live. This may be a shorter stream, to tell you the truth, because, I mean, what else is there to say? But first of all, let's go and read some super chats, and we got to stay tuned and see if Nikki Haley ends up giving a speech. And again, I do want to show you some of the delusion that she has been parroting, because it's quite hilarious. But first, folks, let's get to some of your super chats. Again, if you would like to super chat the show with your thoughts, comments, reaction to any of this, feel free to do so. But here we go. All right, first super chat from Arnie Hernandez says, why do you think Nikki Haley is not dropping out? You know, there are easy, simple answers that people have put to this, like, oh, it's corruption, whatever. It's about donors. It's about money. But to tell you the truth, I cannot quantify it. I really don't understand why. I think it all comes down to just personal ego, okay? Because people say, oh, it's for the donors. I get it. It's Nikki Haley. I would fully believe it. I would not be surprised if that was the case. But the issue is she's lost of all the donors. Okay, like Reid Hoffman, all these people are pulling out. Nobody's going to donate to the Nikki Haley campaign, even if they fully support her, because why would you do it? Everyone understands it's a totally lost cause. So you might gaslight some small name, independent, middle class people who support you into scamming them out of $20 of their money. But realistically, it can't really be about money or corruption, at least on the surface, if she's not getting any more donor money to run this campaign. So I really believe that at this point, it's largely ego. I think Nikki Haley entered this race with some notion that she might end up being Trump's vice president. And and this is my theory on it, when she found out that 100% was not happening, she decided, okay, I'm just going to stay in this to spite Donald Trump and mess with him and try to screw with him because I'm here to prove a point. Don't insult my ego like that. So that's my theory. I'm open to other theories as well, because no one can really truly, I think, put a finger on it. Because, normally in the case of Nikki Haley, just saying it's corruption is enough. But when she doesn't even have much to gain out of this, unless she is getting some type of dark money under the table to keep going in this race, it may literally just be an ego thing at this point. Okay, who knows? But thank you for the $2, Arnie Hernandez. Jungle Forever donates $5, saying Trump's 2024, where we go one, we go all. I'm going to pretend like I don't know what that slogan means on YouTube, but thank you for the $5, and it is so true. Trump 2024. This is going to be quite great to witness. The estimated margin currently is Trump plus 23. So that is very fun. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. Gianna for 5 says, hi, Vince. I missed your last streams, but I'm here now. Trump 2024. It's very true. Yes, indeed. Trump 2024. Thank you for the 5. Good to see you. Evodio Tovar. That is a sick name. I don't think I'm saying it right, but that is indeed a cool name. Says, yeah, South Carolina inland uses more common sense than coastal Carolina. Out here is nothing but Democrats, so we rely on northern South Carolina to vote red. Well, I think when you take a look at this map, you can certainly see that. You got Columbia, which is in Richland County. This is, I believe, the state capital, but it's also a college town. That's where the University of South Carolina is. So it makes sense to see Nikki Haley winning there, as well as the coastal parts near Charleston, which I also assume are the bluer parts of South Carolina itself. And then outside of that, the whole state is red. So that does make sense. Thank you for sharing the insight. Thank you for the 5. And good to see you. And that is a cool name, like I said. Gianna for $2 says, do you think Nikki would make a good sandwich? Well, by her own admission, she doesn't cook and she can't cook, and her husband is a better cook than her. She actually has gone on the record and said that. So I think the answer is obviously no. So, imagine being married to Nikki Haley. She can't do any wifely duties, but she can run for president and have an affair. And cheat on you and then send you to the Middle East while she chases her feminist dreams. So, real model American family there. People say, oh, Trump's morality. It's like, and this is a moral person? Really? Come on now. Fernandez T for $3 donates $3. That's it. No comment. Thank you very much for the $3, Fernandez T. And last super chat we got here, Evodio Tovar again for 5. Thank you very much. Says, I can't believe the city of Charleston is leading to vote for Nikki. This shows that come November, Charleston will most likely vote Democrat. Well, I mean, it is an urban area, and I think they tend to do that. So thank you for the 5. And I mean, does Charleston ever go red? I'm pretty sure it never really does, but thank you for the 5. I mean, this is, of course, what you will always see, right? The liberal areas will have the more liberal Republicans as well, so they're going to vote for Nikki. But again, this also is only with 7% of the votes in, and we expect that the election day vote that pours in secondly is going to favor Trump. So who knows at the end of it if any of the map is blue for Nikki Haley. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she wins Columbia, she wins Charleston, but it would also be kind of funny if she just doesn't. Okay, that would be kind of funny, but we'll have to see what happens on that front. So we got Alan Smithy for $2 there. Says Haley loses by 30 points. Here's how she can still win. That's the girl math of Nikki Haley. Okay, that is so true. That is exactly how she acts, behaves, and loves to gaslight herself there. So we know how it goes every single time. Many such cases. And, you know, it is frankly what it is. Okay. I will just stay tuned and try to see. So someone in the chat, if you can let me know when Nikki Haley is going to give her cope speech. Okay, I don't call them concession speeches because she doesn't actually concede. She just copes. Watch. She's going to go out there and say, South Carolina, we have won the election. Meanwhile, the actual delegate count, 44-0. Okay. On to Super Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Like, yeah, okay, Nikki, whatever you freaking say. And honestly, that's how it always is. Whatever you say, Nikki Haley. And, you know, I guess you could, look, she was never going to win the primary, but you could kind of justify there was a time, at least she was creating buzz. At least people were paying attention to her. At least she was creating some amount of intrigue or interest in the political conversation, right? Whereas now, nobody even freaking cares. Does anyone care? Okay, when's the last time you saw Nikki Haley even make a headline? You know, she went out this week and tried to give the state of the race speech, and the only reason people watched it or cared about it is because they thought she might be dropping out. And after not being able to gain any attention or traction from that either, what's the point of this? Again, it's literally just ego. That's what it truly comes down to. So anyways, in other news, we'll talk about this briefly here. So as we watch as Nikki Haley lost the South Carolina Republican primary literally immediately, and she's about to walk away with 0 delegates, I figured it would be funny and pretty hilarious to platform and react to some of her delusion, because she is yet to give, at the time of recording this, her concession speech. But I do want to talk about how earlier this week she went on Harris Faulkner's show on Fox News and listen to her logic about all of this. And keep in mind, actually, I'll put it on the screen right now. This is the backdrop of her. Oh, hold on. This is the back right there. This is the backdrop of her claiming she's going to win this. And then I want to secondly react to what Vivek Ramaswamy said about her. But okay, take a listen here. Take a listen here.
How do you win your first state?
I mean, it's amazing to say I haven't won a state yet. You've only had 3 states that have voted.
Well, it's not amazing.
We need to
South
go ahead and
Carolina's
let
winner
these
take
states...
all. How do you win your first?
So that's her logic. Okay, it's like, okay, guys, there's only been 3 states so far. Yes, Nikki, that is technically true. However, okay, you haven't won Iowa or New Hampshire. You're about to not win South Carolina. To my knowledge, it is almost non-existent that any candidate in either party has ever not won South Carolina, New Hampshire, or Iowa and taken the nomination. It's virtually impossible. And then furthermore, when you look at your polls in terms of Super Tuesday, you're getting destroyed in every single state there. Okay, there's no chance. There's no path to victory. But, you know, again, this is the girl math of Nikki Haley. I don't know why she's doing this. Deep down, I can't imagine she actually even believes this either. But it is what it is. I mean, just look at that face. Look at that face. Even she's coping. Even she's bitter about it. But that was her on the Harris Faulkner show. Let's also listen. This was Vivek Ramaswamy at a Trump campaign stop just a couple of days ago before we got these amazing election results. Listen to what he had to say.
And so I'm going to speak a hard truth that's relevant to the decision South Carolina has to make in about 4 days. That includes a former governor of this state right here in South Carolina, capturing politicians who have built, 50 miles from here, a Chinese competitor that has competed against this business not on fair terms, but because they had special advantages given to them by a Republican governor of this state, that is Nikki Haley, who rewarded a Chinese company with land, with tax benefits, and as best we can tell, outright financial incentives and gifts bestowed on a Chinese company to compete against a great American company that's doing the same thing right here at home. That's not capitalism. That is crony capitalism, and that's what needs to end. And this is why I say it's not Republicans or Democrats. It's America first versus America last. That's what's at stake in this election. And so
I can imagine what Nikki Haley's response is to that. It's not true. He's lying. He's scum. I guess that's also the response to her, again, like, losing the election by 1 million points and 1 million delegates by this point. It's not true. Wah. Okay, so that is the current state of this race. Let's try to tune in and see. I'm going to check really quickly if Nikki Haley is about to give a speech yet. I do want to see this, okay? I want to see how she tries to justify it beyond here, okay? I'm sure she's going to go out and say, it was irresponsible of the AP to call the race right at 7 p.m. when the polls closed. Which, again, in fairness to her, I think that is a valid point, because I don't think you should call elections while people are still in line. However, Nikki, nobody freaking cares. Okay, honestly, that's probably part of the reason they did it. It's because nobody freaking cares. You're not going to win the election anyway, so we're just done, okay? People want to go home, okay? I think the people at the election desk just wanted to say, we're done. Can we go home? We're out, okay? No more of this. I don't want to deal with this. Just call the race. It's over, okay? You are just wasting everyone's time. People see through the lies clearly, as you can see, right? People see now through the fraud you are. Just listen to that crowd in South Carolina that was booing your ilk of neocons. Even your own home state, which not only did you win the election of, back when you were governor, not only were you governor of, but also kind of has a bad track record in terms of platforming neocons, unfortunately. Even they see through the BS. Okay, even they see through the BS. You're losing by 15 with the early votes. Okay, as you can see here, as the New York Times is pointing out, most of the votes who are counted so far are early or absentee, which are expected to be a little bit better for Haley than those cast on Election Day. Okay, you're already losing by 15. This is your home state. This is where you are from. This is the state that you've been hyping up. Guys, we're going to do so well. This is going to change the whole race. It's, again, a winner-take-all election, which means you're going to walk away with 0 delegates with just 11% of the votes in. You are losing by 15, and the votes that come in secondly on Election Day are going to favor Donald Trump. He's estimated in the current forecast now at a margin of around Trump plus 23, okay? What are you doing? But of course, I guess if you call any of this out, you are just being sexist, and you just have a woman problem. Okay, don't you know? Don't you know you just have a woman problem? It always goes like this. But yeah, we will stay tuned to see if she is giving a concession speech anytime soon, because, we usually go our election nights very long, but, let's be real. People get the point. People get the point, okay? Just a delusional, sad person. And it is what it is. It is, honestly, I think the question now is who is more delusional in their presidential campaign. Is it Cenk Uygur or Nikki Haley? We brought this up on the last stream, but let me know. Feel free to give me your thoughts on all of that. But yeah, all right, let's get to some super chats. I believe we did get a few more of them here. So, let me take a look here. Okay, we did get some super chats. Let's get into those, and I'll check the chat, actually. Is Nikki Haley giving a speech? Be sure to let me know in the chat. But anyways, okay. On to our super chats here. Andrew M. for $5 says, Nikki is the quarrelsome wife that the Bible warns us about. Thank you for the 5. I think you brought that up before, but yeah, it is, of course, very true. It is very true, okay? I really do feel bad for Nikki Haley's husband. I mean, that poor man, okay? That poor man. I mean, maybe he likes it. Maybe that's his type, but I can't imagine. Okay, deep down, no self-respecting guy likes that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. Miro409 for $2 says, Vince, did you see Benny Johnson visit Nikki's hometown? I did not see that, but I can imagine the video. What did he go to Nikki's hometown and everyone there didn't like her? We may watch that in a second as we watch these election results pour in. Actually, we will. Okay, we'll react to that. So thank you for the $2. I will be sure to check that out. Dollar for $2 says, imagine losing to someone who is not even on Twitter. Well, again, in total fairness, it's not as bad as losing to nobody. Okay, it's not as bad as losing to none of the above, which she literally did in Nevada. So, you know, it's just the thing is, in terms of her legacy, yeah, you could be remembered as the person who stood up to Donald Trump, but at the same time, the more this happens, the more you're just going to become a meme. You know, the more you're just going to go down in history as a laughingstock. So, I don't know. I can't imagine what's even going on in her brain there. But all right, folks, like he recommended, I actually do want to check that out. So let's see. This is apparently Benny Johnson interviewed the people in Nikki Haley's hometown, and I haven't even watched this, but let's take a look here. So as we take a look here at these election results, but let me see. All right, if someone could send me a link, I'll try to find it here. But let's take a look at this here. Is it on his Twitter, or do I have to go to YouTube? I might have to go to YouTube. Oh, okay, I did.
Nikki Haley's never come back to help you.
I did find the video. Okay, so we'll play this as we show the results here on the screen. But okay, folks, apparently, this guy Benny Johnson, who is like a big time kind of conservative influencer on Twitter, went to Nikki Haley's hometown and interviewed the residents there, asking about Nikki Haley. And as you can imagine, I assume the results here are going to be very interesting. And when you take a look at the election results themselves, I think this basically adds up, and it's hilarious. Nikki Haley is going out and claiming, this is my state. I love South Carolina so much. I was the governor there. And it turns out, at least nowadays, I don't know if the people there love you so much back. Let's take a look at this video here.
Nikki Haley's never come back to help you?
No!
Welcome to Bamberg, South Carolina.
Big surprise, right?
Nikki Haley's hometown. Nikki Haley talks a lot about Bamberg. Typically not good things. She says this place is a horrible racist place where she was treated racistly her entire upbringing.
We were the only Indian family in our small southern town. I was teased every day for being brown, on how hard it was to grow up in the deep South as a brown girl.
You sure about that?
We're here to find out if the people of Bamberg...
You know, that's so true. That's so true. You want to talk about why South Carolina doesn't even like her? She is throwing her own state that she claims she loves so much totally under the bus. It's true. Totally slandering them. When at the same time, I seriously doubt that ever happened. Because Nikki Haley is not even brown. Okay, yeah, she is Indian by descent, but look at her. She passes for white. You know, her name is Nikki Haley, at least the name she uses in public life, right? That's not her real name, but I nonetheless digress. So, first of all, it probably never happened, okay? Because she could totally pass for like Italian or French or something. She looks completely white. But then on top of that, considering that it didn't happen, she is throwing her own people under the bus, lying about them, slandering about them, and then wonders why my home state of South Carolina is voting against her. Okay.
Are racists, and if they support Donald Trump or Nikki Haley's globalist policies that really steal and destroy from a place like this. Little, small American towns are the heartbeat of this nation. We're going to find out today. Let's go. Nikki Haley often says that this is a place where she was treated very racistly, that people were very mean to her, and she's the victim. Have you seen anything like that? Are you a racist?
No, sir. No, sir.
Nikki Haley go flip-flop. 1 minute is this, 1 minute is that. We already know what the situation is in this city right here. It's pretty decent. Folks that I know are pretty decent. So
people have been really nice to us.
Everybody that runs in football is really nice.
Nikki Haley on the campaign, she regularly talks about how growing up here, she was treated so racistly, and people were so mean to her because of her race here. Have you experienced any of that in Bamberg?
I haven't.
People seem really nice here, actually.
Yeah.
Nikki Haley has been out on the trail.
It's so funny. The black guy, who's clearly old too, like older, you know, he's been around, you know, he's probably about the same age as Nikki Haley there. The black guy says he's never dealt with racism in this county, but Nikki Haley, the girl who looks totally white, yeah, it was just so terrible for her as a brown girl growing up. Okay. Maybe she had a crush on a white guy and the white guy didn't want her back, and that to her that's racism. I don't know.
On the campaign trail, saying that when she was raised here, she was treated all racistly, and everyone was so mean to her.
She was treated racistly. She treated us racistly.
No Nikki Haley.
That's an interesting.
One more thing. Let me tell you something. She ain't getting no black people nothing. The man's nothing. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Nobody's a racist around here, man. Donald Trump.
Yes, sir. America first.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
I
stream
think
is
that
back.
voting for Haley is a wasted vote. I think Trump's going to be the nominee, and so it's probably who to go for.
Wrong with Trump.
Rolling with Trump. All right, my man. America first.
That's right.
Donald Trump or Nikki Haley?
Trump.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
He's a businessman.
Yes, sir.
And he don't take no shit. No, cut that out if you like.
We have a bleep button. We go bleep.
Yeah, but anyway.
What a lot of bullshit.
I think all of them full of to be honest with you.
Everywhere we go in Bamberg,
Her hometown is clearly in great shape, by the way. She's really given back to her community with that.
people tell us, man, you got to go check out what's happening downtown. Not in a good way, in a bad way. Here you can see just the complete dilapidation of the city. Now, to be fair, there was some really heavy winds and a very strong storm that blew through and caused some damage. But what you can see here is a hometown that has obviously been forgotten about and utterly neglected, destroyed and ignored.
Yeah, you think she's ever been back there? Seriously doubt it. Seriously doubt it. And, you know, I will say, just as a side note, this is far from the only small town you see really everywhere across this country, the South, the Midwest, anywhere that looks like this. And it's really unfortunate, honestly, and people who live there or go through there can relate. There's a lot of there's this very romanticized idea of what small town America is, right? It's like, hey, wholesome, small, you know, everyone loves each other, hospitality, all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, you still get a lot of that, but oftentimes when you drive through small town America in this country, what you find is not this romanticized ideal of like a cute, lovely place. It's actually kind of depressing, right? Like you can tell it used to be that. It used to be the stereotype, but half the businesses are ran down or just empty, abandoned buildings in many cases. You know, the image you think you're going to get sometime of all this like wholesome family people that live there. There's still plenty of that, obviously, but there's also a lot of people who, you know, their life has been destroyed by drugs or their kids have been destroyed by drugs or whatever's going on, you know, and it's really sad. But obviously people like Nikki Haley don't care about that at all. And when you look at the fact that all these small towns vote against her, even though she's from there, and then all of the big cities are the ones voting for her, I mean, you know, it makes perfect sense, right?
By the leaders and the people here in this place. People like Nikki Haley, who's from here, who's governor of this state. There haven't been businesses in these buildings
Okay, wait,
for
hold on.
decades.
Ladies and gentlemen, apparently Nikki Haley is speaking, according now to the live chat. So we gotta hear this, okay? Let me try to find a link. If someone can drop a link in the chat, that'd be nice. But I will do my best here to try to find one, because for some reason with some of these speeches, it's ridiculously hard. Like you search up, this is the YouTube search thing. You search up Nikki Haley speech and you'll get a speech from 2 weeks ago. And it's like, yeah, that's what I really frankly want to see. Absolutely. Someone find me a link, please, quick. Anyone? Okay, here. I think I found one. If it will load.
And the number we want to look at here, not, of course, for Nikki Haley to anything under that, and maybe it gives Nikki Haley at least a little momentum to make the case that she should stay in through Super Tuesday. Big questions we have now. How is she plotting this path forward? What is the case she's making to voters now?
She's not.
And is she really going to stay in this race until Super Tuesday like she said she will do? Shortly after polls closed, we heard from former President Trump.
She's not speaking in this. What the heck?
3 minutes after polls closed, he didn't say the words Nikki or Haley, but he did sound a lot like a candidate who's pivoting to what's next.
Out is a spirit that I have never seen. We ran to.
Okay, chat, can someone give me a link? She isn't speaking. Go to Twitter. Okay. I'll try to go to Twitter. It's so frustrating, dude. Like, why can't these candidates just put the dang speech on their election channel, on their YouTube channel? It's like all the freaking time with this too. Yeah, trying to hear a candidate speak. Why has it got to be so impossible? It always is too. It always is. Okay, let me try to find this. Is it real? You guys better not be trolling. Like, she's not even speaking. Okay, but go to where on Twitter, okay? Can someone give me a username? Like, what account? She's on Fox News? Well, great news. I can't even sign in to Fox News on my computer because, like, every time I try to sign in, it just gives me a freaking loading screen, which is fun. Okay, that's real nice. So I don't know. Is it on Newsmax? Is it on the freaking Fox 24? Okay, I could check that, actually. Where's that, like, Fox YouTube channel? News Now, is it called? All right, let's check News Now. Maybe News Now.
The Democrat primary in order to vote.
To a black conservative group last night. He made
there both the Fox News.
This primary tonight, because it's an open primary state, will be an interesting breakdown. If it's a fairly large number, that portends something happening on the national level.
It says here they're awaiting the speech.
Dovetails and tracks with what Nikki Haley has talked about, which is that if she can garner independents and Democrats and Republicans,
voices will be heard today.
Governor Haley, I have two questions. Well, one for you and then hopefully one for your kids. For the kids, what did it feel like to vote for your mom for president? And the second one for you, a little bit more political. Who would you have run the RNC if Ronna McDaniel steps down today?
It wouldn't be a family member of a candidate. It wouldn't be someone who says that all the money is going to go to Donald Trump when I know that $50 million of campaign contributions went to personal court cases last quarter. $8 million went to court fees just from January. You look at that, that's $100 million that will get drained from the RNC.
Okay, I don't think she's spoken yet. I think they're waiting on her.
Down the ticket. So I think having a family member run it or a campaign manager being a part of it should not qualify it. And I would hope that the people in the RNC know that they have a responsibility to put in people in the RNC who are going to look out in the best interest of all of the Republican Party, not just one person.
Ambassador Haley, where does your campaign go from here, both strategically and in terms of travel across the country?
To Michigan. We're headed to Michigan tomorrow morning.
Oh, my gosh.
We'll be campaigning there, and then we're headed to the Super Tuesday states. So we look forward to seeing everybody.
Governor Haley, Trump was speaking to a black conservative group last night. He made a slew of comments. He said he could not see the black people in the crowd because the lights were on. He said that because he has been indicted, that he is winning over black voters. He even said that black voters are embracing his mugshot more than any other group. Are those comments acceptable?
That's just true.
It's disgusting. But that's what happens when he goes off the teleprompter. That's the chaos that comes with Donald Trump. That's the offensiveness that's going to happen every day between now and the general election, which is why I continue to say Donald Trump cannot win a general election. He won't. We can make him the primary nominee if we want to, but Republicans will lose come November. This is a huge warning sign. We have to stop with the chaos. We have to stop with the drama. We have to stop with the bad sound bites that keep happening over and over again. And listen to the American people. If 70% of Americans say they don't want Trump or Biden, that they think they're the two most disliked politicians in America, if 60% of Americans are saying that they think Donald Trump is too old and Joe Biden's too old to be president, I hope the people of South Carolina and I hope the people in the Super Tuesday states listen to that. There is a choice. We can leave the drama and the chaos. We can leave the incompetence. And we can go to something that is normal. And that's what people want, especially the younger generation. They just want to know what normal feels like.
Governor Haley, earlier this week you said you would be campaigning every day until the last person votes. Could you clarify those comments? Did you mean that you'd be taking this all the way to the convention in Milwaukee?
What I meant was South Carolina. We're going to be voting. We're going to be campaigning all day today.
You're shifting the goalposts already. Oh my God!
That's as far as I've thought in terms of going forward. We've placed ad buys. We've gone and put out the public schedule of where we're going to be. And so
she's like, wait. That might not be such a great idea.
Going to keep on going.
What is your strategy to win those Super Tuesday states?
It's going and giving people an option. Look, my whole goal for running is because you have a majority of Americans who are saying they don't want Donald Trump and they don't want Joe Biden. So as long as you have a majority of Americans saying, please give us a choice, I'm going to continue to fight. I am not going anywhere. I'm going to make sure that we give Americans a choice. You know, you might go to Russia and they'll anoint kings there. But here in America, we have elections, and people's voices are heard. And how blessed are we that we get to do that?
And you're losing the elections.
To be able to vote.
You're
Between
losing
now
the
and
elections.
10 days from now,
Do you understand?
another 21 states and
Do
territories
you
will be
understand?
voting. And I think that's a great thing. They want their voices heard, and we're going to make sure
You are losing the elections that you are talking about.
Is after Super Tuesday going to be another evaluation point for you then to see what every last vote means at that point after Super Tuesday?
That's as far as we've thought so far. So we'll keep taking it one state at a time. That's our goal, is just one state at a time. I know everybody else wants to look ahead. That's not how I've done any of this. In the past year, we've taken it one state, 1 month at a time, and focused on that. That's what's gotten us to this moment, is discipline, hard work,
And
being
you've lost
smarter
all
than
of
everybody
them.
else, and making sure that we do whatever it takes, as scrappy as we need to be, to get to the finish line.
Ambassador Haley, after New Hampshire, you said that you certainly have to do better in South Carolina than you did in New Hampshire. So do you think that you're going to meet that goal today? And if you don't, why should voters trust you?
Newsflash, it didn't happen. It didn't
We'll
happen.
find out. We're going to find out today. Y'all will be deciding that as much as you want. You know, what I'll tell you is I think my goal has always been to be competitive in South Carolina. And
To be
you know, for
competitive?
voters to trust me, I think you can look at the...
Nikki, if you're competitive, quote unquote, you get 0 delegates. Do you understand how that works?
Thousands of voters that are going to come out for me today. You can look at the people that are going to show up at our rallies in Michigan, Super Tuesday. People want to see us continue this fight. We owe it to them to continue this fight. And I think that it's a good thing when democracy reigns. And I think it's great for the Republican Party to have this competition. The only thing that's lacking in this is Donald Trump getting on a debate stage. He should get on a debate stage.
Do you think
It's safe to say you sharpened your attacks on the former president. You said he's become more offensive, I think it was on Tuesday. Is there an argument to be made that perhaps you should have gone after aggressively at the beginning of your campaign?
Not at all. There were 14 people in this race. I had a dozen of the fellas I had to get rid of first. It was taking them out
Here
one
she
at a
goes
time.
again with the fellas.
Now he is the one-on-one opponent that I have, and that's why you see us showing the contrast between me and him. If I had done that in the beginning, I would have been a Chris Christie. My goal was to make sure that we took it one person at a time.
Governor Haley,
Guys, this is the last question.
some Trump allies have claimed that your ability to attract crossover voters is making the data worse for the Republican Party if a lot of them would normally vote for Democrats. How do you respond to that sort of argument from Trump allies?
It's that mindset that keeps Republicans losing. Republicans have lost the last 7 out of 8 popular votes for president. That's nothing to be proud of. We have got to start bringing people into the fold. We've got to start talking to everybody. If we truly believe that our policies lift up everyone, then guess what? You've got to talk to everyone. So when you go to my rallies, when you go to my events, you see everybody there. You see young, old. You see every race. You see every gender. You see
everyone except conservatives, except the actual people who form the base of the Republican Party. Okay? You understand that?
Republicans, independents, and conservative Democrats, they all come in. I'm not going to push anybody away. I know Donald Trump
Except
said that anybody that
conservatives.
supports me is barred permanently
push all of them
from
away.
MAGA. How you win votes. That's not how you win Americans. And that's where we have to get back to again. Thank y'all very much. Enjoy the
Family,
day.
what did it
Enjoy
feel
the
like
South
today?
All right, Nikki Haley there earlier this.
It's just cope. It's just cope. It's just pure delusion. Okay? Like, I don't know what to say. It's just the same thing over and over again. What is wrong with her? And notice how she is already shifting the goalpost. She's saying, I didn't say I was going to take it all the way to the convention. You basically did, though. You literally said, until every vote in this country is cast. That's what you said, which means all the way to the convention. You remember, we were live on Wednesday when she gave that speech. If you were there for that stream, that's what she said. Now she's saying, I didn't say that. I just meant through Super Tuesday. So already shifting the goalposts here, okay? Talking now about just being competitive in South Carolina. Again, being competitive does not cut it in South Carolina because it is a winner-take-all state, okay? I don't even know what to say at this point. Okay, I just want her to come on the stage, give her cope speech, and we'll call it a stream. Okay, because I'm just done with. I'm just over it. Okay, like at some point, the delusion no longer becomes funny or entertaining unless it's Cenk Uygur, in which case Cenk Uygur's delusion is always funny and entertaining. But you know, I don't know. I don't know. She's probably crying in the corner right now. Although you do notice in her voice, the past week or so, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's kind of realized this. There is now that very defeated tone in her voice. Anyone notice that? Right? She's talking a lot softer. She's not talking like confident girl boss. She's more like she looks flustered. She looks like she doesn't know what to do. Not just when she's answering questions from the press, but, you know, also even just when she is out there speaking. Like we heard that speech on Wednesday, I believe it was. And that was not a confident speech. You know, she actually sounded kind of sad. Okay. She sounded like she was going to cry. But anyways, I see the crowd making some noise. So is she coming out here?
The stakes are for her. But one of the reasons.
No, they're just partying. They're just dancing. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. Maybe I guess her supporters are just as delusional as her because I don't know what they have to celebrate about. Oh, yeah, we're about to lose South Carolina by 20 points and get 0 delegates. We're winning this race. She is such an unbelievably inspiring image for what women in this strong woman in this country can be. It's just I really want to get in the mind of a Nikki Haley supporter. Like what's in the minds of these people right now? That they're dancing, they're celebrating, they're having fun. What are you celebrating? You lost. You lost your own home state. Okay? And, you know, at least Ron DeSantis was smart. You know why? Because he knew when the game was up. And truly, I think that is an important lesson sometimes in life. You see this in a lot of movies and whatnot, and you hear the stories of it. There always comes a point in your life where you have to decide, hey, I've played the game, it's up, I lost it or I'm about to lose it. So either I stubbornly keep playing it and train wreck myself, which happens to a lot of famous outlaws, a lot of famous criminals. How do they go down? They're actually winning, they're getting away with it, but they get too big. That's how it all blows up in their face. Jesse James, Jordan Belfort, the list goes on, many such cases, right? And so Ron DeSantis was smart enough to realize it's not going to happen, okay? And he saved himself the embarrassment of losing Florida, which he was going to do, right? You don't want to be that, right? It's your own home state. You're the governor there, and you lose it. I mean, that is permanently discrediting. But in the case of Nikki Haley, she just can't figure out. She can't figure out that very useful life lesson, and I think everyone should absorb it, right? Which is play the game, do your best, but also when the game is lost, when the war is lost, sometimes it's best to pull out of it instead of you just keep fighting, right? You save yourself for the next battle. You save yourself for another day, which could be 2028 or something beyond. But in the case of Nikki Haley, she's not smart enough for that, which I guess is a good thing because I don't want to ever see her around ever again. So the more she embarrasses herself, the more she permanently becomes remembered in the GOP as a sore loser. Frankly, I think the better that is for Make America Great Again, the better that is for America First, and everything in that regard. But oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, chat. Is this Nikki Haley coming up on the stage? Nope. I don't know. I think they're just trying to figure out, maybe they're trying to get the audio working, because if you remember her speech on Wednesday, the audio sounded like it was straight out of Afghanistan, which is, of course, ironic because Nikki Haley would probably put us back in Afghanistan. So, you know, I guess it fits. It's on brand there. She needs to invade Afghanistan for their high-quality microphones, as we all know. But, okay, this should mean we are expecting her here periodically. And at this point, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on Nikki because the primary is over. We all know that. Major news outlets are basically reporting that we could more or less consider this a landslide, especially considering it is Nikki Haley's home state. And when we look currently at the election results, we now have 39% of the votes in, and the vote total here continues to grow for Donald Trump. He is likely going to crack 20% in terms of his lead over Nikki Haley. They're currently forecasting it's going to be around Trump plus 20. But anything double digits when it's your home state, and again, it's winner take all, I mean, again, it should be totally discrediting for Nikki Haley. This is going to be her strongest state, besides New Hampshire, right? Because it's her home state. So when she loses this, what is she going to say? Don't worry, we're going to win Florida, and it's all going to make the difference. But you're not going to win Florida, okay? You're just not. California, no, you're not. Texas, really? Really? It's over for you. But like I said, some people, they can't, when the game is up, they don't want to admit it. And this is how it goes. This is indeed how it goes. So we are monitoring live her campaign, war room, whatever, but let's read some of our super chats here. Gianna for 2 says, please play Call of Duty on stream. Fun fact, I really have never played Call of Duty. I played it once when I was a kid. Didn't like it. I'm not really a big fan of shooters at all. Never been that good at them. When I've played video games, I always prefer like open world stuff more than shooters. So I wouldn't know the first thing about how to play it. So I don't know what to say. Can you even play it on PC? Like, is COD on PC really a thing? I'm sure it exists, but is it doable? Because I could try to screen share the Xbox and stuff, but I tried that once. It's difficult. The sound doesn't work. It's a mess. But anyways, Nikki Haley, Dollar for $2 says, Nikki, please learn to cook in Mew. She's yapping. Okay, thank you for the $2 there, dollar for dollar. Dollar for $5 says, small town Americans sacrifice money and opportunities to help people get from point A to point B. They could easily move, but they choose to stay. Well, that's the thing too, though, and I think part of the problem sometimes you get with small town America is the kids who, they do well in school, they go to college, they start a business, they're doing well for themselves. What usually happens, right, to that starry-eyed kid? He wants to get away from that town as much as possible. There's a sort of attitude, right? It's like, hey, I want to move to New York. I want to move to Tampa, Miami, whatever. I want to go work in finance or something like that. And I think you get this repeating cycle of brain drain where a lot of the more successful socioeconomically people who come from small towns, they don't come back to their small towns and give back. They don't try to reinvest in the community, So I think that's arguably part of the problem with finished high school or whatever. And you know how it is. And so this sort of just brain drain, the stock of people, will you say, as the generations get younger, declines, and it all kind of falls apart, right? And I think that's part of the problem. And how do you fix that? I really don't know. Other than it has to be a change in culture. It has to be a change in attitude of, hey, give back to where you're from, But it's something I notice. It kind of is what it is, I don't know what to say beyond that, but it's a problem. It's certainly a problem. Okay, we got a super chat here from Texas Legend 1983 says, Haley versus Cenk, general election will happen. Guaranteed. I'm 100% in your camp. I think we can very much project that right now. Cenk Uyghur will be the Democrat nominee. Nikki Haley will be the Republican nominee. And that will be a very contentious general election, to say the least. And speaking of which, maybe we should, while we're waiting for Nikki here, check in a little bit on the state of the the Democrat South Carolina primary, because I'm interested to see what Cenk Uyghur is saying about it, okay, about his performance, because I haven't looked at the results, but I'm sure he is winning in a landslide. I'm just so sure of it, okay? Cenk Uyghur is going to win South Carolina, but wait a minute, it was rigged. The corporate Democrats, they're snubbing me from it. Let's see what he's saying. See what he's saying about it. So for yet another election, it seems, Cenk Uygur is basically ignoring his performance in the election. He's just kind of coping. He's not really addressing directly the fact that Joe Biden won yet another primary state, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, he hasn't said anything about it directly. He's just saying, I call on everyone who donates he says, I call everyone who donates $100 or more to my campaign, and I make some random calls for people who give less. CenkForAmerica.com. Okay, chat, wait a minute. He personally calls everyone who donates more than $100 to his campaign. So you're saying all it's going to take to get a prank call with Cenk Uygur, which would be amazing, is if I donate $100 to his campaign. You know, chat, that's kind of tempting. That's actually kind of tempting, okay? Like, you're saying all it takes to get a... Like, imagine we could have a phone call with Cenk Uygur, okay? I actually think that's a worthwhile investment. Because I don't care about his campaign. The money wouldn't basically go anywhere anyway. But that is something we could have as content for the rest of the history of the channel, okay? I'll answer Cenk Uygur on the phone. I'll do the Cenk Uygur impersonation to his face. I'll be like, hello, Cenk Uygur! Why are you impersonating me? I am the real Cenk Uygur, and I am winning all 50 states! Chat, this is tempting right now. This really is tempting right now, okay? I may have to justify down the road, you know, some conservative who's going to try to purity spiral me is going to be like, why did you donate $100 to the Cenk Uygur campaign? I see it on the FEC reports. You're a Democrat in disguise. I know they're going to say something like that, but let's also be real. The people who know and know the meme are going to know. Okay, all the cool people are fully going to understand the moral justification for giving $100 to Cenk Uygur. So, you know, chat, what do you guys think of that? I'm considering that now. I don't think that is honestly such a terrible idea. Because it's guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen. He says he personally calls everyone who donates $100 or more to my campaign. So if I donate $101 to Cenk Uygur's presidential campaign, you're saying that's all it takes to personally talk to Cenk Uygur? Okay, and congratulate him on yet another stunning victory in his delusional brain in a Democrat primary. Chat, I'm really tempted right now. I'm really tempted for the meme. Exactly, for the meme. For the meme, all we'd have to do is give him $100, and we can talk to Cenk Uygur. This is incredibly tempting. I might have to do this later. Chat is encouraging me to do it. All right, let's do it. We're gonna remind me later. I'm gonna do it later. Okay. The top comment on this tweet says, "Don't you get enough from AIPAC?" Like he's the Free Palestine candidate, and this guy Trans Panda is saying that he's bought out by Israel. It's so everyone just wants to trash him from every side. It's amazing. He's running as the super Free Palestine kind of candidate, and the accusation from the transgender panda is that he's bought out by Israel. So you know, Cenk Uygur, the poor guy, he can't do anything right. Okay, he can't even convince anyone that you know, he's a worthwhile candidate. That is too funny to watch. But anyways, folks, let me see. Did we get any super chats? I don't believe that we did. But Giant Bulldog says, why would you want a call from Cenk? Because it'd be hilarious. It'd be hilarious. Like, imagine the things we could do and say. Okay? I'm telling you, I will do my Cenk Uygur impersonation and say that he is impersonating me and he needs to stop impersonating me because I am the real Cenk Uygur and I'm going to be the real winner, quote unquote, of the Vermont primary. Okay? All the memeing we do of Cenk Uygur on this channel, and you ask me, why would you want to get a call from Cenk? Because it'd be hilarious. It's for the meme. Okay? It's for the meme. Glad he's challenging Biden at least. Yeah, so that's the other reason why it's like, I wouldn't entirely feel unjustified in giving him the money because at the very least, we would be strengthening the resistance against Biden in the Democrat primary, which for the general election kind of bolsters how weak his support base is going to be. So honestly, the way I see it you know, you are donating, yes, to a Democrat, although it is a total joke Democrat who's not even eligible to run for president, so it's already funny to begin with, but you're also sort of, when you think about it, running counter-ops against Biden at the same time. And most importantly, we'd get a phone call from Cenk Uygur. So I think this needs to happen. But all right, folks, it seems to me finally that Nikki Haley is about to make her grand entrance. I think I saw her backstage there. I don't know if you guys caught that. So we're going to take this full screen and let's see. Let's tune in live and see what's going on. Okay, so they're still just sitting there playing music, but let's see if she comes on out. All right? We are waiting Nikki Haley. Like I said, I think we saw her backstage, but yeah. Guys, I mean, again, let me know what you think. But if you're saying all it takes for me to get a phone call from Cenk Uygur is to give him $100, that's cheaper than most celebrity cameos, okay? Like, I've been trying to get a celebrity cameo from Punxsutawney Phil, the Groundhog Day groundhog, for the past couple of weeks, and this guy says it's not even available. Okay, I go on Cameo. I'm like, I want a video from Punxsutawney Phil, and I can't even get it. Okay, so you're telling me I could put that money to Cenk Uygur's phone call? That'd be amazing. I think we should do this. Okay, I think we should do this. But let's take a look here. Someone's on the stage. Who is this? I don't know why the camera's zooming in on her. I don't know. Can she just hurry up? Okay, I'm trying to end the stream. Like I just don't care about this primary anymore enough to wait for you. Okay, what are you gonna react to? The election results? Does anyone really care truly about the actual election results? You see them there on your screen. Trump's gonna win. It's a winner take all. It's frankly irrelevant. The margin's gonna be around 20. Okay, here she is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. All right, finally, Nikki Haley, again, has just lost the South Carolina primary. Big surprise. I know everyone is shocked by that. She's about to get 0 delegates, and let's listen to her. This is our live reaction to that.
Obviously, thanking my family. I am so incredibly blessed. I was able to speak with Michael this morning. His support has been amazing. The kids have really stepped up, sometimes too much, but they have stepped up in a way that has made me so proud. I am blessed because I had the ability to actually go vote today with my mom. You know, and there's something very special with the fact that she was a lawyer in India and she was named one of the first female judges. And because of the times, she was never able to sit on the bench. But the fact that she could go with me and cast her ballot for her daughter as President of the United States was an amazing honor. I want to thank my parents who taught me strength and grace. I want to thank Michael's parents who have been unbelievably supportive through all of this. My sister and their families for always supporting us every step of the way. Thank you. I feel blessed tonight. I've felt blessed through this entire journey.
Wise words. Okay, we're back.
Even when it's been tough, I haven't lost sight of that. I've felt God's strength and grace every step of the way. I'm blessed to have served the state that raised me.
That you constantly throw under the bus? Yeah.
And I look forward to continuing to be blessed to serve the state that raised me, whether it's going and voting with my mom or whether it is being with
losing
our family.
in your own
We're
state.
very grateful for the good people of South Carolina. Thank you.
They're not grateful for you, clearly.
And it's a blessing to know that across our sweet state, everyone wants to bring back the America we know and love. That's the underlying message of what happened today. I want to congratulate Donald Trump on his victory. And I want to thank the people of South Carolina for using the power of your voice.
Well, at least she admits she lost this time.
No matter the results, I love the people of our state.
Yeah, sure you do.
I love what we accomplished together, and I love how we united during our worst challenges and tragedies. I've always seen our state as a family. Families are honest with each other. They say the hard truths.
Oh, she's going to drop out.
This entire campaign.
Is she going to drop out?
And that's what I'll do now.
Oh?
What I saw today was South Carolina's frustration with our country's direction. I've seen that same frustration nationwide. I share it. I feel it to my core. I couldn't be more worried about America. It seems like our country is falling apart. But here's the thing. America will come apart if we make the wrong choices.
Oh, maybe not. Spoke too soon.
This has never been about me or my political future.
Wait, maybe?
We need to beat Joe Biden in November.
Oh! Is she going to drop out?
I don't believe Donald Trump can beat Joe Biden.
Oh, maybe not.
Nearly every day, Trump drives people away.
Okay.
Including with his comments just yesterday.
The mixed signals.
Today in South Carolina, we're getting around 40% of the vote. That's about what we got in New Hampshire, too.
That you also lost.
I'm going to count it. I know 40% is not 50%. But I also know 40% is not some tiny group.
Yeah, but you're getting 0 delegates. You understand that?
There are huge numbers of voters in our Republican primaries who are saying they want an alternative. I said earlier this week that no matter what happens in South Carolina, I would continue to run for president.
Okay, well, she was teasing us.
My word.
No, you're not.
I'm not giving up this fight when a majority of Americans disapprove of both Donald Trump and Joe Biden. South Carolina has spoken. We're the 4th state to do so. In the next 10 days, another 21 states and territories will speak.
And you're going to lose all of them.
To a real choice. Not a Soviet-style election with only one candidate. And I have a duty to give them that choice. We can't afford 4 more years of Biden's failures or Trump's lack of focus. We're at $34 trillion in debt and counting. Not even a third of our 8th graders are proficient in reading. Families can't afford groceries. 9 million illegals have come to our border with enough fentanyl to kill every single American. And beyond our borders, the world is on fire. War is spreading further every day.
Oh, that's ironic.
If we aren't strong, those wars
Nikki's not
will draw
going to
America
encourage
further
that.
in. And it's not just about policies. We won't get out of our downward spiral if we keep obsessing over the past. Does anyone seriously think Joe Biden or Donald Trump will unite our country to solve our problems? One of them calls his fellow Americans fascists. The other calls his fellow Americans vermin. They aren't fighting for our
And
country's
you call them
future.
racist and sexist.
They're demanding we fight each other. The younger generation, my children's generation,
Don't
knows
speak
it
for
better
me,
than anyone.
you nasty woman.
They deserve better. They deserve leadership.
Not like you.
And so I will keep fighting for them and for you and for all of America. From the start of this campaign, I have made clear that I'm running for president to save America. I'm running to remind us what it means to be an American. In the America I know and love, we believe in each other. And we believe in America's inherent goodness. Now is the time to renew that belief. Now is the time to remember who we are. We're citizens of the greatest country in human history.
She sounds like a robot when she talks. Anyone ever notice that? Like, at certain
And we
points...
must lead now more than ever before. I'm grateful to South Carolina. I always have been and I always will be. And I'm grateful that today is not the end of our story.
It is the...
We're headed to Michigan tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
And we're headed to the Super Tuesday states throughout all of next week. We'll keep fighting for America, and we won't rest until America wins. I want to give a few thank yous because we have had some people who've really, there have been too many to thank, but I really have to single out Congressman Ralph Norman. Ralph has had pressure on him from every side that he needed to not support me and that he needed to step away from me. And he always said, there's no way in hell. Senator Tom Davis, Representative Nathan Ballantyne, and Representative Mike Neese, who were there. We had other supporters, but they were constantly there. Tom, you've been there from the very beginning. Nathan, you'll forever be my desk mate. Mike, I won't know what to do if I don't see you at an event, but I am truly, truly grateful. Solicitors Scarlett Wilson and Duffy Stone, amazing rock stars for our state that we should all be proud of. Mayor Brenda
None of these
Bethune
people won you the
really
election.
stepped up. The mayor of
'Cause you
Myrtle Beach,
lost.
she was absolutely
Maybe you should fire them all.
Former
Try
Congressman
again.
Gresham Barrett. You know, the story behind me and Gresham is we duked it out in our first primary when I ran for governor. And to have him call me and say, not only do I want to help you, I will do whatever you need me to do. Gresham, thank you for the prayers. Thank you for the text. Thank you for the encouragement. I am grateful for that. And everybody needs a friend like Bubba Cromer. When you have a friend who was one of the first ones to greet me when I joined the House of Representatives, and when everybody wasn't nice and they gave me a hard time, Bubba would always compliment my outfit. And
It's just weird, okay? When you know the stories about
every event and print thousands of
what she has done to her husband,
and
all
do
these
the things
stories
you
are kind of
didn't
weird.
have to do.
I'm just going to say that. I'm just
We
going to say
all
that.
love you. Thank you.
I'm not accusing anything. I'm just saying it's kind of weird.
And to my women for Nikki.
My desk mate. It's like, what?
We have our Women for Nikki chapters in every state in this country. And if you want to talk about a force, don't mess with the women in America. Thank you for the support, the encouragement, the love, everything that you've given. Thank you, South Carolina. Thank you to everybody who's been here today. Onward. Thank you. God bless you.
All right, folks. So we've heard this story so many times, but there was yet another completely delusional, just ridiculous speech after losing yet another election, okay? She actually spoke for a couple minutes there like she was going to drop out. I thought that's what she was saying when she was like, well, it's my duty to be honest and like, let's be realistic about the race. And I was thinking, oh, she's going to actually drop out. It'll be a little bit unexpected, but hey, maybe. And then she just does a 180 and it's just a bunch of yapping. Like, it's just a bunch of nonsense, truthfully. It's just crap, okay? There is no path to victory for Nikki Haley. That's always been obvious. There never was. But how are you going to justify you lost your home state? You think you're going to win any? If you can't win your own state, how are you going to win any state? You lost New Hampshire. Every single Super Tuesday state you are getting destroyed in. You are going to get destroyed in Michigan, especially considering that's Trump country in terms of the Republican Party, right? That's a Rust Belt state. That is a 2016 coalition state. They are not going to favor you and your corporate nonsense, okay? They're not the country club Republican type. That is a popular... And like people are, she's competitive in South Carolina. This is what she means. And again, I will reiterate, it's a winner-take-all state. So she's walking away with South Carolina with 0 delegates and acting like she won. And you hear the people in the crowd like, yeah, Nikki! Yeah! I love you so much, Nikki! So, you know, it's to be expected. Okay. But yeah, with that said, I mean, folks, if you want to send any few more super chats in the next couple of minutes, feel free to do so. But I don't have much else to say other than that. You know, I would go longer, but I've been kind of sick like this past couple of days anyway. And so I kind of need to rest the voice and all of that. But these are the results. Donald Trump will win the South Carolina primary by a margin that we here on this channel might as well declare to be a landslide. I'll say it. It's a landslide. Nikki Haley, once again, pretends like the race is still competitive and It just gives a very weird, out-of-place speech that doesn't make any sense. That has been the case for Iowa, New Hampshire, and now South Carolina. So that's her pattern. She lives in delusional world. She lives in Barbie dream world. And that's it. That's it. More delusion from Nikki Haley. She says she will go to Super Tuesday and get destroyed there as well. Why? Honestly, at this point, nobody really knows, but that is what she is doing. So, yeah. We'll read Super Chats if we got any for a couple minutes here, but that's about all I have to say for this stream. Okay? We got the result. We got the speeches. We got Cenk Uygur. We got the Cenk Uygur cameo, as we always need. That's about it, folks. There's your South Carolina election results. And currently, in terms of reporting, because I know I cropped this out, so let's take a look here. It is at now 65% of the votes in. And like we brought up before, these are all election day votes from here on out, basically. So this margin's only going to tick up. In fact, I am actually a little bit curious as to what the projected margins and all of that stuff is. So let's take a look. Let's see here. So Nikki still winning Columbia, Charleston, and this county down here, Beaufort County. So, but we'll see in the end if that holds. I mean, I think Charleston County will hold. Okay, definitely will hold for Nikki. Columbia, probably most likely still will hold there. But besides that, I mean, the whole state is Donald Trump's, basically. New York Times has the forecast. They think it's going to be Trump plus 19, but a margin of error between 13 to 26. Either way, that's double digits, and it's winner take all. So, you know, that's how it goes. So, and yeah, he's currently winning by 22 points. So this is the game changer, right? Nikki Haley, my home state of South Carolina, I'm going to win this and we're going to fix everything. Okay, I'm not delusional. No, yeah, you're delusional. Okay. Anyways, any last super chats, guys? Feel free to do so because I'm going to call the stream here pretty soon because, you know, Saturday night, I low-key need some rest because it's been a rough week here. Okay, you wonder why we haven't uploaded, all right? But we'll be back in full swing hopefully next week. But besides that, I don't have much else to say. Be sure to leave a like on the stream. Let's see how many likes we have currently on the stream. We got 328 likes. Very good. Let's get the stream to 400 likes before we go, ladies and gentlemen. But let me see. Please donate to Cenk. I will. Okay, just spam me and remind me because I know I'm going to forget. So be sure to remind me. But I think it's a fantastic idea to donate to Cenk. But let's see. Anything else in the chat? Let's see. We going to call Cenk or... Well, I'm not going to do it right now. I got to donate to him and then see when he calls. And whenever he calls, I'll try to have a camera ready on standby so we can record the conversation. Okay? But Eric Cope says, is that your real last name? Is your real last name Cope? Okay, and we're back. But good news is we're ending the stream. Okay, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Be sure to leave a like before you go. We will be live probably. I'll try to do a live on something sometime this week. But we'll probably cover Michigan primary results and Super Tuesday. So be sure to join us then. Check out the video content that I will be posting in reaction to the South Carolina primary here shortly. But yeah, till next time, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and Alpha Moves Only. God bless. Have a very great rest of your Saturday night, and peace. Vince, you're missing out on the Trump speech. He already spoke. What are you talking about? What? Freaking, there ain't no Trump speech. Yeah, he already spoke.